hello to everyone. I hope you are okay and safe at home. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about building a UX philosophy at scale. Just a little bit about me and my background. I used to be an art director for a company that was based in London and Qatar. And it's been 2 years that I have joined the bank Societe Generale. And today I am the head of design there. The UX philosophy at scale, and as I mentioned, it is a philosophy because it goes deeper into three points, which are expand UX mentality and methods to product teams. The second point is to design better. It has designed better user-centric projects, and the third point is that it helps to deliver more products. And I will go deeper into these 3 points throughout the presentation. I'll be talking with you about the agility and its process, the process that we have observed at the bank lately, the reasons why we are having this kind of process, and its effect on the team and the product. And then I'll move on into how we are trying to improve this process by presenting and introducing design at scale philosophy. And then we'll go into details about expanding, designing, and delivering. And then we go with takeaway. So just a little brief about the product design, product team is, I think we all know that it goes from product owner to Scrum masters to core team as developers and designers. And the Agile process is we grab the requirements and then we start the phase of design where the UX part starts and then UI design starts. Then we go to developers to do their own job. We test it, we deploy it, and then we review it. Sorry, I just have to do one thing because I'm not seeing all my slides. Okay, sorry. I hope it's okay. So basically, the Agile process that we have, each sprint, we go on 2 weeks of sprints. But in a bank that has been there for almost 150 years now, we're still having some difficulties. I'm not saying that we didn't move forward with it, but sometimes we could observe some difficulties and some problems with our own process. So our observations with my team was that the process and our sprint goes from requirement to directly development phase, then testing, deployment, and then maybe they would add at the end the design phase if there's a budget left or time left. And in design, I mean UX and UI, and then we review it. So some of the reasons why we're having this design phase that late is sometimes there's budget restraint. Either the project has started way back and they don't have any more budget, or they just don't have the budget. Sometimes product owners think that they could do the job of UX designers. When I say the job of UX designers is like doing the interviews, collecting data, doing the research, and all these stuff. And then we do have silos. So you will see we're going to be trying to break these silos. Developers, they all work very well together. UX and UI designers, they work well together. PO has his own fixed ideas, but then when it comes to working all together, everyone starts being a little proud of his job, and they don't want to really share with each other. And the misunderstanding between the difference between the user experience designers and what he does, and the user interface designer what he does, and when they should call, when the PO should call these designers and in which phase and at which time. So how this is an example of a project that we had to work on, and it was a big project. The PO has already thought of the project from A to Z, and without doing research, which left place to assumptions. And since the PO thought that he could do everything and he had his ideas cleared, he started the development phase directly. This took around two months, and then he called my team, wanted to include a user interface designer. And the problem started actually because the UI designer, he could see that there are problems with the workflow, because of course, since everyone has his own job, like we might not think of some areas like UI designers would think of. So once we started this phase, we started seeing that we have missing content. Every time we had to go back and ask questions to the PO. The PO didn't have time to answer us, or whenever we presented some designs, the PO goes like, "Oh yeah, I think of this new idea. It's gonna be great. Let's try it." And then as well the phase of testing, of course. This is why we test, because we want to see what works and what doesn't work. But while we're working on the UI phase, the development phase was already moving forward. So as you could see here, we are reworking, we're redoing the work all over again, and we were stuck in one sprint and not moving forward. And we ended up with a product that wasn't that well thought, actually. And it affected the team and the product, because we did useless rework for weeks, actually, for more than 2 or 3 months. We had just reworking the pages, because the project introduced the design phase really at the end. It ended up with unmotivated team. They didn't want to work with each other, and they didn't want to work on the project itself. As I mentioned, an average product quality and a budget. I'm not saying the wasted budget that we had. So basically, this is where the UX philosophy at scale comes, and this is how we are working to improve this process. Design at scale philosophy, as I mentioned at the beginning, it starts with expanding UX mentality and methods to product team. So what we did already is we introduced some online courses. Everyone could have them. Every year we chose around 15 courses, and it was open to anyone who wanted to join these courses. 2 years ago, we introduced the reskilling program, which is a 16 days program where we asked people who wanted to change their job to come into this program with an idea of a project, and they learned UX design while doing their project. So they ended up with a project that they made from A to Z. So we had people from POs to business analysis or the HR team and so on. In 1 month, we're starting the third one. We introduced as well the upskilling program. Upskilling program is part of the UX community that we have at the bank. Every senior UX designer would help and would coach a junior UX designer to upskill the person. Then we introduced meetups. Every Thursday we have meetups where we could talk about how POs could work with UX designers, how Scrum Masters could work with UX designers, developers and UX designers, and so on. And we did some events, some big events. One of the events was called Adopt a UX, which helped us to introduce more the UX design at the bank and to make people understand more what we do. The second phase of this expanding UX mentality and methods is we're going to be creating a platform that would take users a step. It's going to have a step-by-step guide on how to design a project from A to Z on different type of projects and different needs. And it's going to go for, like you're going to be able to search based on your needs. It's going to have a toolkit and courses. Courses, as mentioned before throughout the talks, like empathy, for example, is something like a soft skill. So how would you expand the UX mentality to everyone at the bank? How could we have this empathy as a human being? I know we do have empathy, but how could we push it further to better understand the end users actually? And at the same time, it's going to help us to create a T-shaped team where everyone could work all together in order to help each other with each phase of the process. The second point, sorry, is to design better user-centric projects. So you could see here, without a design at scale, we could have 6 weeks of sprint instead of 2 weeks. I'll explain why in a while. And without design at scale, we're having design by the end of the process. But with design at scale, we're hoping to rebring the design phase into early stages of the project. And the third one is to deliver more products. So as I mentioned, without design at scale, and if we keep this process as it is today, the sprint that should take us 2 weeks in normal process, it's taking us 6 weeks. So we are saving if we are able to expand this philosophy at the bank. I think every project would gain about 40 weeks more. So we will be able to create more and more projects based on user-centric, based on research, and so on. So the takeaways of this presentation and this philosophy, I think, and it could be reapplicable to every organization, I think, because it's still a philosophy, it's a model of working, and it's a state of mind actually, and how we could all share the same knowledge together. So for expanding UX mentality and methods to product team, it has to break the silos between the product team. The communication stays open all the time. Everyone every team member would understand each other because we're gonna have a common language between us. At the same time, there would be an aligned vision because everyone would be in phase with every phase in the process. Expanded knowledge, so we could, for example, ask POs to help us conducting interviews, because in the platform we're gonna teach how to conduct, for example, an interview. So basically, if we ask the PO to conduct the interview, it will take around let's say 80% of the job from UX designers, but the 20% that stays, it's for UX designers to focus more on searching for the data, pushing further the results of it. We will have joint forces, and I'm sure we're going to keep the team motivated for more and more projects to come. Design better user-centric projects. We will have better thought projects because it's going to be based on research and not based on assumptions. We're going to be sure that it's going to be usable because we have already tested it, because we already asked users what they want and we were in line with users' needs. and it's based on research and zero rework, no time spent for nothing actually. And the third point and my last point is the deliver more product. Actually, it's time optimization, as I mentioned. Instead of having expanding the process from 2 weeks to 6 weeks, we're going to bring it to 2 weeks. So it's going to leave us 4 weeks more to create more projects and make benefits every make projects benefit from a user-centric approach. Optimize budget. We all know that budget today is a question, and it always has been. So we better focus on that and respect the budget, I would say. And then it's very important to accelerate the time to market, because as we know that time has been changing so fast, the market is moving so fast as well. So the UX philosophy at scale would help us accelerate the time to market.